He is none other than 7-time Super Bowl champ and the most famous retiree in all of sports, I think. He is here courtesy of Hertz, back here on the Rich Eisen Show, the great Tom Brady. How you doing, Tom?
Good, my man. Good seeing you always.
Good to see you too.
Always a pleasure. So I get to see you in different forms, but our first time speaking in true retirement. So
It's
let's
How is
go.
how is retirement? I follow, I see what you're up to. You got a cat, you got
I know.
vacations, you got a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. What are you doing in vacation, Tom? I
You
mean
know what?
in retirement.
It's interesting because I feel like right now this is kind of what I'd be doing had I not retired. It's still not really you go through this off season, which all these players are going through right now. But I think for me, I don't think it really sets in obviously till the fall when guys are playing and I'm not. But at the same time, I know that this is the right time for me to, try something, not try something different, but, move on to other things and areas of growth that I'm here to experience that, that, had I continued to play, which obviously the sport's amazing and I'm going to continue to be involved in the sport and broadcasting and certainly in other ways. But it's never too far from me, because I love the sport. I love the game. I still follow it. I'm still reading all the news and transactions and trades and drafts and so forth and all the different teams that I've been a part of to follow them. So, but the actual playing part, I'm definitely tired of getting hit. There's no more of that. Probably my least favorite record is the amount of sacks that I've taken in my career. But now I'm get to move on to some other things that, I'm certainly enjoying. And I think obviously being a dad and being around and taking care of a cat. And I think we got more cats on the way. Unfortunately, I lost that
Okay.
bet.
All right.
So, just continuing to enjoy these different parts of life. So it's some travel ahead. We got a summer plan and then we'll see how things go in the fall.
Well, then, yeah, that's the drill. Is obviously there's not much to miss right now, other than an OTA maybe that you're required to be at. What do you think you're gonna miss the most, Tom?
I think, look, I think football, the best part about football is the relationships that you form and the memories that have been created. And I think it's not about winning. I never thought about winning Super Bowls and I never thought about that's what I'm here for. I just had the best time with my friends. I was out there throwing a ball in the yard with my buddies. And the fact that it was Mike Evans catching a ball and Chris Godwin and it was Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski. And I mean, can you imagine people paying you to drop back and throw passes to the best athletes in the world? I think for me, it was just a dream come true for all those years. And I think for me to be able to have that experience for as long as I did is an incredible blessing. It's why I wanted to continue playing. Cause in the end, I just felt like I was a high school kid, just trying to go out there every day and earn my keep with my buddies. And we have a very physical element to our game, where there's a physical preparation involved that you really can't, skip. And I think that discipline over time, really helped me in different parts of my life. The physical discipline of training and, thinking about how to take care of my body. And then also wanting my body to perform at a high level so that I could go out there on the field with my teammates and do a great job. I think all those things challenged me every day and every year to continue to be my best. And I was very fortunate to be a part of the most amazing teams over a long period of time. And I've got great memories and a few Super Bowl rings to kind of show and be proud of as I kind of move forward into the second phase of my life.
But how are you prepared to get that itch, Tom? You're going to get it. I mean, every guy I know who's retired got that itch once games are being played. And, you're not just any guy. You're a guy who's got the competitive spirit, maybe more than any other football player I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
what are you going to, you're going to get that itch. How are you going to handle that, do you think, Tom?
I think there's other competitive ways to kind of get those things out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, I think it's just, I'll be competitive in other areas for sure.
Okay.
I will be. And I think that it doesn't necessarily need to be on a football field throwing footballs anymore. I mean, I can still do that. I'm just not going to do it competitively in a way that, to be a part of an organization that way, because that's a huge commitment. And that commitment I don't take lightly. I don't think I ever took that commitment lightly. I thought I put 100% into everything. And I try to still put 100% into everything that I do. It just takes a little bit of a different shape or a little bit of a different direction. And you could see other areas where I'm trying to contribute, and I think that I can be a part of different places and different organizations to help them be successful as well. And I think that's a big part of what my future looks like.
Is that the Raiders news that we're seeing, that you might, become a piece of ownership out there in Vegas, Tom?
Yeah, that's obviously very exciting for me. And I think we're just a little bit in the middle of that process right now, but obviously something that would be a dream come true. And to be the third player in the history of the league to have, an ownership interest in a team would be amazing. And I feel like, if we can continue to kind of progress with this and it gets all the approvals and so forth, it would be something that would really be pretty cool from a kid from just San Mateo, California, that grew up on Portola Drive and was throwing out cuts at fire hydrants, and then, to be a part of the NFL in that type of way and to really be a steward of the game. And I think if there's something that I really feel strongly about is position is, let's say, it is more of an ownership role, but it just allows me to have an impact in the game. And I'm going to do that in broadcasting as well. But I love the sport. I think it brings out the best in all of us. I think that competition, I think that teamwork, camaraderie, determination, discipline, perseverance, overcoming adversity, all these different things have shaped me and molded me into the person that I am. And I see it do with so many others. And, I think just being a part of that, and it's been a part of my life in the past, but also going forward in the future is, it's a fun thing for me. It's a fun thing for you. I'm sure you see that in all the different people that you've been a part of, and you don't go in there to your job and your career and say, all right, this is what you get to embrace, this team aspect and this cultural aspect that people want to be a part of. And when you create that, I think it brings so much to our life because we get to go out there and play a role of something that we really enjoy.
7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady here, courtesy of Hertz, which we'll talk about in a second. Let me ask you, I guess, a pundit type question, Tom, and that's one of the many reasons why, you're going to be so set up to be good at this. I mean, because you can come at it from so many different angles. The drafty overlooked, somebody who snuck up on people and then became an all-time great, as well as somebody who went deep into your 40s so successfully. So Aaron Rodgers is now age 39, new spot, new team, something that you're familiar with, right around the same age as well.
Yeah.
How do you think he can keep it going to perform into his mid 40s as well as you did? Set up knowing him as you do and knowing his potentially his regimen as well as you might. How do you think he might perform deep into his 40s, Tom?
I think he's going to do a great job. I mean, he's a tremendous player, great competitor. And I think this kind of breathes a lot of fresh air and invigoration into, going to a different team and wanting to prove yourself all over again. And I think we all have that spirit about us that, when we started off in the NFL, we had something to prove and we wanted to go out there, and the team that drafted us, God, there was a lot of freshness to it, and you took it and you really attacked it. And I see that with him too, being a part of being in New York, and there's a lot of expectation there, and there's a lot of eyes, and there's a lot of media. And I think he's going to go out there and he's going to do a great job. And that division is very competitive with Buffalo, with the Jets. I think Miami's a talented team. And obviously New England, with the amazing culture that they've built over a long period of time. So Aaron's tremendous player, tremendous passer of the football. I've always kind of watched him and studied his mechanics and how he goes about things. But I think he's going to do a great job. And he's got a lot of talented players there too. A lot of young players that have a lot of speed, quickness. And I think when you look back at probably his most productive years, and he's had a lot of them, he's had great receivers, and those receivers, we all need great receivers as quarterbacks to be productive and prolific. And I think he's got a great opportunity to do that in New York.
And so does he follow your system? Have you had conversations with him about TB12 and about what he can do to play into his 40s, not just be maybe one and done in New York? Have you had these conversations at all?
I've had more conversations with you about TB12 and getting you to your RunRichRun a little bit faster, because we got to break some 40 speeds, man. We can't keep declining. That's bullshit. I mean, I keep seeing you get slower and slower. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, let's turn this up. Let's train a little bit differently. I'm going to get those muscles pliable. We're going to get those feet to turn over. I mean, look, I was never the swiftest or fleetest of foot, but I didn't lose much over time. And I think that we can get you back to maybe a PR next year. I don't know, it might be your fastest, but it's going to be improved from the last few years.
No, and I know we have had these, conversations, but I'm officially accepting. I'm in, and my wife is maybe more excited about this than I am. But I don't want to let you down. So that's part. I guess I don't know how it feels to be a teammate of yours, Tom, that I don't want to let you down. But so we're in. I'll go on the system or whatever you want to suggest, and we'll see how it goes for next year's charity run. It's number 20 for me, Amazing. So I accept. Amazing. This is going to happen. We're going to do this, Tom?
Let's do it. Let's do it. And I think it's cool that you've done that for all those years, brought a lot of awareness to it's St. Jude's, right?
Yes, it is.
You brought a lot of awareness to them. I mean, there's a lot of people that need help in the world. And I think for you to do your part and have other people contribute to that in the end, that's what it's all about, giving back to the greater good. And the people that are able to do that in a big way with a platform like you have, I'd love to be a part of it too. So I'm all in too.
All right, Tom. Sounds good. What are you doing with Hertz? I saw the 2 commercials that are coming out today. So I give you the floor on that, Tom.
Yeah, I've worked with them for a few years now. They have an incredible leadership team, great group of people that have developed a great culture. It's one of the iconic brands in our country. And I've been a longtime customer, and they came to me a few years ago. They told me what they were doing from an environmental perspective, and they were turning over their fleet of cars and making them more sustainable. And they have the largest fleet of EVs, including Teslas, Polestars, and that's who I've used. And I think that it's a great business. It's a great company. And I believe in what they're doing. I thought we've done some cool things from a content perspective. We've had a little fun. Our last campaign was basically very comedic. There were lots of fun takes on different things that probably we've all seen and been associated with. So I think people are going to like it as the campaign rolls out here over the next 6 months or so.
Okay. And everybody should check out your new commercials for Hertz. And so the next time, Tom, we see you with football would be, are you going to the Patriots opener? Is that because I know Bob Kraft said something along the lines of that you're going?
Yeah, I'll be there for the opener. He invited me. It's very cool. He and I have had a lot of meaningful conversations over the last 2 or 3 months on different subjects. And he's been a great mentor of mine. He's seen me go through a lot of things in my life and my career the last 23 years. And, he said, look, I'd love for you to come back and for us to do something special for you and kind of retire the right way. And I was very accepting of that, as I've always been. I love the Patriots. It's an amazing organization. I have so many friends and relationships and memories. My kids were born in Boston, and just to go back there to see the fans and kind of wish them, I know they play the Eagles in the season opener, which is going to be a tough game because the Eagles are pretty good. And we haven't always had the best history with the Eagles and the Patriots. So maybe if I could bring a little bit of luck, the Patriots could get off to a good start in the season, but it's going to be pretty tough because the Eagles are a damn good football team.
Well, Tom, I appreciate the time here. You've always been terrific to me, my show, and NFL Network turns 20 this fall.
Yeah.
And, our first 2 Super Bowls were your second and third championships, which is still to date the only back-to-backs that the league has seen this century. So
yeah.
I've been thrilled to have a front row seat, and I look forward to more, including next year's run. Tom, we're in. This is it.
Next year's run.
You take care. You take care. Have a great time. And that's Tom Brady, courtesy of Hertz, right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.